I'm going to try and do Cooper and I's 3-week update. I don't know how it'll go because Cooper's been kind of unsettled. And I wanted to do this when he was awake and happy so I could show him and show what he looks like really well. But I don't know. There just never really seems to be a good time to film this with 3 boys, 4, 1, and a newborn. It's been a lot. With breastfeeding takes up a lot of my time, and just taking care of the boys and trying to keep up with the housework and get dinner on the table. It's really overwhelming. So it's been amazing, stressful, hard, wonderful all at the same time to have 3 boys to take care of at the same time, while recovering from a C-section. And it has just been a lot. My brain is just like all over the place. I feel so scatterbrained now. And I feel like can I even remember what I would need to update on for this update? I don't know, but I'm going to try. So here he is, as you can see, sucking on his pacifier right now. And he has, you can't really tell right now, but he has blue eyes. Like me and my husband both have blue eyes, and all our other boys do as well. And then he has lots of dark hair, as you can see. And he is so precious. As far as like being an easy baby or a hard baby, I would say he lies somewhere in between, kind of similar to how Hudson was for us. Our first one, Colton, was really hard. He was very colicky, and so he cried a lot. And that was really hard, especially to jump right into that without any experience. He was definitely our toughest. And then Hudson was a little easier, and Cooper's around the same as how Hudson was. He's not like just super happy all the time. He definitely has his times when he's crying a lot, and days when he's more fussy than others, but he's not, I wouldn't say he's colicky or anything like that. So like I said, he kind of lies somewhere in between easy and hard. And he's so sweet and precious. I'm trying to soak in these little times of him being so small, because he's already grown so much. He's going to be coming up on 1 month so quickly. He's about 3.5 weeks now. I just can't believe it. Like, to think that he's been here for over 3 weeks is just insane. So he has been doing pretty well. He is eating a lot better now that he got his tongue tie fixed. That was not like an instantaneous fix. I mean, he was able to move his tongue the way he needed to, obviously, and it healed quickly, but it took him quite a while to catch on to how he is supposed to use his tongue. He kept kind of wanting to go back to how he used it before, when feeding off of me. And I don't know if that is fully due to the tongue tie or if it has to do with the fact that his mouth is just really small too. That was one thing that they mentioned to me when I went to the pediatrician, was he has a really small mouth, and when their mouths are smaller, they have a harder time latching correctly, or they don't like to latch correctly as easily for you. And so that has been a work in progress for us. We've made a lot of progress. There has been a lot of stress with breastfeeding, and we've overcome a lot and come a long way from when we discovered he had the tongue tie issue, and just working with him to try and get a good latch. I used the nipple shield for a while, just out of necessity, because I could only get him to latch without it a couple of times. And so I used it because that was how he would nurse, and I wanted him to nurse. I didn't just want to give into pumping and bottle feeding as easily as I did with Hudson, because I don't know, I feel like it kind of backfired on me, because then at one point Hudson just stopped latching for me, and that is when breastfeeding just went downhill rather quickly, because I wasn't able to keep up my supply without him nursing and just trying to pump. It was just really stressful trying to take care of a 2-year-old, pump constantly while also trying to get him to nurse because he had stopped latching for me. It was just a lot. So anyways, this time I wanted to try and do everything I could to have Cooper nurse as much as possible so that hopefully he would stick with it and I could be more successful with breastfeeding this time around. And so he nursed with a nipple shield, which was fine, but it took him a really, really long time to nurse. I would nurse him for 2+ hours to finally get him satisfied. And it seemed like an ongoing thing. And a lot of times it's like I would nurse for 2+ hours and then I would maybe have an hour and then I would be nursing him for 2+ hours again. And so it was a lot and very time consuming. But at that time I did have my parents here to help. So I took advantage of having them here to help. And I really worked really hard with focusing on Cooper and trying to get him to latch good and, just, doing what I needed to do to try and establish breastfeeding as much as possible while I had help. And I think it paid off pretty good because we have made a lot of progress. So as far as breastfeeding goes, I wouldn't say it's going amazing, but we've made a lot of progress. He, like I said, had a really bad latch for quite a long time, and he would latch on, latch off, pull me every which way, want to latch incorrectly, and then not want to latch for me unless I use the nipple shield. And it was just, there was a lot of battles with trying to get him to nurse well for me for quite a while. And I just kept working with him, and we got off the nipple shield, which I am so glad to be off the nipple shield because, like I said, it took twice as long, if not longer, to nurse him with the nipple shield on than without it. And so he's not the best latcher, but he's doing a lot better than he was. And then, unfortunately, he caught a little bit of thrush in his mouth, which is not any fun. It's a yeast infection if you don't know what that is. And they have to be on some medicine to get rid of it. And so we took him to the pediatrician to get his medicine. Unfortunately, it got passed on to me from breastfeeding. And that is not any fun at all. Having a yeast infection in your breast is extremely, extremely painful. So I am on medicine as well. We're both currently still on the medicine for that, trying to get rid of it completely. So hopefully we can get rid of it completely really soon because it is not any fun. And so, yeah, that has not been fun. That's been another turn in breastfeeding that, is already not going the easiest for me. And then to have a yeast infection is just not fun and very painful. So we're trying to kick that out as quickly as we can. And then hopefully after that we can have some smooth sailing. I don't know. I hope so. But I'm really grateful that we are still breastfeeding and that we've made the progress that we have and that he is healthy and growing like he should be. And that just makes me so happy. So he fell asleep now. So cute. So I'm trying to think about what else to update on with him. He smiles. He has been smiling since he was pretty young. I mean, like within the first week, he has been smiling. And I know that a lot of people would just tell me, oh, they're just gas smiles or whatever. But no, like he make eye contact with me and smile. And he's been doing that for a while. I've only caught like 1 or 2 sleep smiles, and I think they're on my husband's phone. But I haven't caught any of his genuine smiles looking at me in a picture yet. But hopefully I can soon. It's so sweet just to see them smile at you, and when they make their first laugh, it is just so precious. Not much better than a baby smiling or laughing. Um, and yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to update on. Um, he's not a great sleeper. At night, he wakes anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, and he eats anywhere from 2 to 4 times throughout the night. There's still a lot of nights where he eats a lot of the night, and that's exhausting. I cannot wait for him to just wake up once during the middle of the night. That would be amazing. I'm just like praying that that comes sooner than later. But for the most part at night, he'll wake every 2 hours to eat. And I'm not getting a lot of sleep. I am pumping some, so usually I try to pump enough just to be able to at least have Chris give him a bottle for one of his feedings at night so that I can get a little bit of sleep. Um, and so we've been doing that. And plus, I do want him to take to a bottle and take to nursing well, both ways. He does nurse very frequently and like to eat a lot. So definitely him being able to take a bottle is very nice for me, because otherwise it can be really difficult to get anything done. Sometimes in the evening, if I'm trying to cook dinner or whatever, Chris will give him a bottle, and I'll go ahead and pump, and I'll, make dinner and play with our other two, and just try to get some other stuff done. Because he nurses a lot in the evening, especially. A lot of evenings he'll nurse pretty much nonstop until he finally gets settled enough to sleep, for his first stretch of the night. And so, yeah, breastfeeding has just been really demanding. But like I said, I'm just really grateful that I'm still breastfeeding and it's going okay. um, and he has been, like I said, he's in between easy and hard. There's not really too much to update on because, he's still pretty young, so he's not really doing anything exciting yet. But I think that's about it, really. As far as I go with my recovery, it's been okay. I haven't been on pain medicine for quite a while. I was only on pain medicine for, I think, maybe a week after I got out of the hospital. And I was in the hospital for 2 days. So I wasn't on pain medicine for a very long time or anything. Doesn't mean that I probably could have used it a little bit longer, but I kind of tend to grin and bear it because I just don't like to be on strong medicine. And it's been going all right. I feel like this is probably TMI, but I feel like now I'm starting my first menstrual cycle since having Cooper, and so I've been like really crampy and just not feeling the greatest. Never a fun time of the month. But my incision looks really good as far as all that goes. The healing and everything seems to be going really well. It's definitely been challenging, and I think just harder on my body, having two to run after and take care of, and especially Hudson just being one, has been challenging for me, just not being able to get very much rest. So it's made it a little harder on my body. But overall, everything's been going pretty good. And I'm just grateful that little Cooper is healthy, and hopefully we can get this yeast infection out of here really quickly. And like I said, have some smooth sailing from here on out. I think that's about it. Sorry, I feel like I've been so scatterbrained and this is long, so I hope this was at least somewhat enjoyable to watch. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video, and I hope you guys are doing good, and I will talk to you later. Bye.